Happy snowy Sunday, Grace Point. I dreamt all night long that we waited all day long for snow to come and it never came. Such a strange dream. But when I woke up this morning, of course, there it was. We had lots and lots of snow, and it looks like more on its way. I hope you're all someplace safe and warm, and look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Today, I just wanted to send out a quick devotional based on kind of two things, actually. One is a recurring theme of conversations I've had with people over the last few weeks, but also that theme that ties into our reading from today in GP Reads from Matthew chapter 6. Right after Jesus tells his listeners how not not to pray to be seen, nor pray to be heard by people, he goes on to tell them how to pray, the kind of themes to have in our prayers. I want to read that today. It's from Matthew chapter 6, starting in verse 9. It says, "Therefore you should pray like this. Our Father in heaven, your name be honored as holy. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread and forgive us our debts as we have forgiven our debtors. Do not bring us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For if you forgive others their offenses, your heavenly Father will forgive you as well. But if you don't forgive others, your Father will not forgive your offenses." This is a really familiar passage to many of us. We've prayed it over and over again. When I was a kid, this was part of our normal Sunday routine at church. I just want to pull out a couple things from this little passage, and I want to focus specifically on this idea of forgiveness. First, Jesus asks us, tells us, guides us to think about and pray to our Heavenly Father. That would have been a very unique concept in Jesus' day. No one referred to the Lord as Father until Jesus showed up on the scene. He certainly referred to him that way, and he encouraged his followers to do the same thing, to pray to him as a perfect Father. That's hard for a lot of us because we didn't have perfect fathers. I wasn't a perfect father, but he is a perfect father. But not just any perfect father, a father who's in heaven, who's set apart, who's high and lifted up, who's holy, and that we would pray to him that his name would be kept holy, that his kingdom would come and his will would be done on earth, in our life, in our hearts, in our families, in our communities, in our world, today, right now, just as it is in heaven every day. That we would have enough to eat for today. Something as simple as that. I heard one commentator say to not pray for our greeds, but to pray for our needs. Could I just have enough to eat today? And then he says, ask him to forgive our debts as we have also forgiven our debtors. This is basically asking the Lord to apply the same standard of forgiveness that we have offered others to us, that he would forgive us just like we've forgiven other people, that in the same way we've forgiven that person who sinned against us, we're asking the Lord to forgive us. And if you think about that, that's a dangerous prayer to pray, because forgiveness is a difficult thing. It is a very, very difficult soul exercise, if you will. And he says, don't bring us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one, just to protect us and hold us secure and safe and sound. And then those last couple verses are challenging. Let me read it again. For if you forgive others their offenses, your heavenly Father will forgive you as well. But if you don't forgive others, your Father will not forgive your offenses. Now, there's a lot of debate on what those two verses mean. And I don't want to go into the whole debate this morning, but what I do want to do is say what they at least mean. The minimum that they mean is that to the extent we have been forgiven by the Lord, to the extent we realize the depth and the completeness of his forgiveness toward us, to that extent, we will forgive others as well, just as deeply, just as completely. And if we're really not that aware of how much we've been forgiven, we will find it very difficult to forgive the people around us. So here's my soul exercise for you this morning, or my encouragement to you to have a conversation with whoever you might be snowed in with. Why do you find forgiveness so hard? How easy is it for you to understand the depth of your own sin and how you've been forgiven by your Heavenly Father, your perfect Heavenly Father? What might it look like if you applied the same forgiveness you've been given by the Lord, if you applied that to the people in your life that need your forgiveness? What could that do? What could that do in your own heart? What could that do in the hearts and minds of the people that need forgiven? And what could it do to the people who are watching? Consider the kinds of things that might happen in the world of the Christian church if we forgave other people just as freely, just as deeply, just as completely as we've been forgiven by the Lord. Forgiven for things that are unthinkably worse than anything that's been done to us. I hope that's helpful. I hope it gives you something to think about today, gives you a really practical soul exercise to try today. And again, if you need anything from any of us, please email us at info@gracepoint.cc. I'll be checking that email address several times throughout the day. Meanwhile, I'm praying for all of you. We're praying for all of you, and hope to see you everybody next Sunday. Grace to you.